Pause it right there. I forgot to do this. For those who don't know, TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Now, Murat Gassiev, 25-0 with 18 KOs. He's a known sparring partner of Gennady Gennadievich Golovkin, his trainer Abel Sanchez, as you see him right there. He is considered, you know, somewhat in my opinion, he's the best. He's the second best cruiserweight in the world. Alexander Usyk is #1. I don't know where to rate Miras Breedis just yet. Anyway. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. I'm a bit upset. I was supposed to be at this fight. Couldn't make it. Had some issues with my daughter. But whatever the case may be, we're here. This is the last fight. Well, was the last fight for the first round of the Cruiserweights for the World Boxing Super Series tournament. It's a $50 million tournament. This fight took place in the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. Murat Gassiev, IBF 200-pound champion, and basically the winner of these fights go on to get a WBC Diamond title, and the winner of this tournament will not only be an undisputed champion, not counting Denis Lebedev with the WBA or the WBA World. They will be an undisputed champion, but also a multimillionaire. So it's 25 million spread across 2 divisions. And while we're here, let's go look at this to show it to you. So, and let me do it like this. There we go. How about that? There we go. So the first round was Alexander Usyk versus Marco Huck. Was a very hyped up fight. Usyk won. Marco Huck is moving up to heavyweight. Miras Breedis versus Mike Perez. We didn't really know who Mike Perez was because he had only one fight at cruiserweight before this, and it was a 1-round fight. Remember, he's dropped 40+ pounds to come down to cruiserweight, and this fight was filled with excessive holding, and Miras Breedis was getting a lot of shit because people were saying, well, you know, how come he wasn't, you know, docked any points? Gassiev beat Wlodarczyk tonight, you know, via stoppage. What was that, the second round, right? Stoppage. And then Dorticos in the knockout of the tournament so far beat Kurt Dryashoff. So, in the next round, which is supposed to happen in January and February, you're going to have Alexander Usyk versus Miras Breedis and Murat Gassiev versus Yunier Dorticos. And then in May or June, you're going to have the finals. Now, in a perfect world, you know, we would see Alexander Usyk versus Murat Gassiev, but a lot of people feel that Alexander Usyk is the favorite to win this one, this cruiserweight tournament in general. Now, as far as Wlodarczyk is concerned, you know, he is a former champion. Yes, I have seen him fight in the past, 53-4-1 with well, now he's 53-4-1 with 1 draw, former champion. But truth be told, it's not that he's over the hill. And one of the reasons why they did put this fight here in New Jersey is because in the New York, Jersey area, there's a very strong Polish fan base for fighters from Poland or Polish fighters. You know, so they heavily support their own when it comes to boxing. That's why you see guys like Glowacki, you know, and damn, what's the one that fought name? Oh, Andrew Fanfara, you know, fighting around the New York area, and they usually like do good numbers. So, you know, this was a big reason why this fight was put in that area, and they built the card around international fighters. Like I said, I was approved to go to the fight, but I couldn't make it. You know, kind of really pissed off about that. But now you have a Murat Gassiev going to fight Yunier Dorticos, and many are wondering because of Dorticos' layoff, where does he stand in the cruiserweight division? And Murat Gassiev, will he be able to deal with the power? We've seen him deal with the power from Dennis Lebedev, so only time will tell. Now, like I said, that fight's going to be happening in January or February or so, but there's questions about this tournament that I've been having. Is why is it so difficult for us to watch these fights here in the United States? Now they may have the fight on the website every now and then. Now me, I'm on the East Coast. My cable provider is called Comcast Xfinity, so we don't have the AWE network, which they show the fight a couple of weeks. We just, especially for media, we're having hard times watching these fights. Now I understand it's the first round, and I mean it's the first year of the tournament. It's supposed to be around for another 2 more years confirmed. And it's just like, we got to do something, man. But I am happy that there hasn't been any injuries, replacements, or any controversies involved in these fights. So you have to be grateful of that. But regardless of the case, many people wasn't giving Wlodarczyk a chance to beat Murat Gassiev, and it's a tournament where these guys are fighting 3 times in 9 months. Especially if you're the winner going on to fight to fight to fight. So you can say, well, these are filled with bums and everything. No, it's not. It's only to fans who don't follow boxing on the international scene that don't know who these fighters are. But these fighters are good. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to Alexander Usyk versus Middleweight Briedis and Murat Gassiev versus Dorticos. Now, in this second round, we're getting some real, like good championship quality fights. It's not the first round anymore. It's not the first seed versus the 8th seed. You're getting some good quality fights, especially this Alexander Usyk versus Briedis fight. But like I said, in a perfect world, we would get Usyk versus Gassiev in the finals, and then the winner on that will go on to probably fight, I guess, Dennis Lebedev or something. Looking at the cruiserweight division, it's deep, but it's not as deep, in America. So you got names like Andrew Tabiti out there, like I said, Dennis Lebedev, depending on what Glowacki's doing. Steve Cunningham still has maybe a run or so within him, and then maybe a Mike Perez or so. But the way he was talking was, he was like, he was going to retire, with that fight. But anyway, on TstreeT Controversy, this is TstreeT Controversy Live. All the links to my social media right down below in the description box to cover every single major fight live. That wraps up the first round of the World Boxing Super Series for the cruiserweights. We won't see, like I said, the next round is supposed to take place. Let me read this to you guys. Let me pull this up. I forgot. I'm sorry. The winner will be crowned in May, but it doesn't say here. The inaugural September 2017. I'm looking for where it says, I believe, like I said, I really strongly believe that the second round is going to take place in January, February. Or is it February, March? I'm pretty much sure it's January, February. And the finals are going to be in May and June. But it's for both different divisions. So the last fight for the 168-pound division is going to be next week with Juergen Braehmer versus Rob Brant. And then we're going to have George Groves versus Chris Eubank Jr. I'm highly looking forward to that. And Colin Smith versus Braehmer or Brant. Colin Smith didn't look too good in his first fight against Glugland. And we really don't know who Rob Brant is. We're still learning. Not very much footage out there. I'm very familiar with Juergen Braehmer. And basically, it's looking like Colin Smith is supposed to have an easy shot to the finals. And truth be told, the winner, in my opinion, of this tournament is going to be either between George Groves, Chris Eubank Jr., or the wild card, Rob Brant or Colin Smith. You just don't know. I mean, obviously I just named 4, so that's the next round. But what I'm trying to say is, we don't know who Rob Brant is. I don't think that Colin Smith can beat Chris Eubank or George Groves. George Groves, however, has issues in the middle of fights is what I'm concerned about. But anyway, we're supposed to be talking about the cruiserweights. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Please subscribe. All the links to my social media are right down below in the description box.